Got us a little jamboree. Alright, look at here. Slobber some more on, moron. Look at all that die core. Obviously had some leaks right here. On the other side as well. Shoulder. Oh, it looks like it's peeling up. Oh, they patched it. That's what it is. See how it ends here? Ah. But, and they mopped it on there. So, we're going to have to probably put some better gutters on here with some insert trim. I know the other side, I don't believe it has it. We're going to be putting solar on here. So we're going to strip this thing down. If you see this much going on a coach, I'd be real reluctant to try to, I'd be curious to know what's going on with it, put it that way, if I were to buy one. You know, I don't own one, so. But if you have one of these type of plumbing, right up inside there, usually it's not sealed, and the water will, as it's traveling, you know, the water will get up inside here, and there's a screw down right over here, and it'll get right underneath there. All these, so you want to reach inside and seal that really good if you have one of those. You know, that one over there may be a better one to see, but that's what you want to do. You want to see if I can zoom up on that thing. Right in there. Hey, you want to be able to mop some booger in there. Put some die-core in it, yeah. So, you don't have a gutter on this side, and if I change one, I may have to change both. But, more tape on the edge. Yeah, good score right there, wow. So, well, we're going to start ripping it off. This whole edge has been all taped. Almost the whole perimeter has, all the way around. So we're going to rip this up, put a new roof on it, obviously. Probably end up redecking it. These, not these antennas, but the crank ups. The crank ups, usually there's a wire that goes down, there's a boot. A lot of times those will leak. So pull that boot up, load it, because they just put the boot on there, and then the that rubber little boot, when the water trickles down the wire, it gets in the boot and starts leak over there. So you, if you have, not this, the crank up kind, you'll see that on yours. You can look for it. So other than that, this is a pretty straightforward roof. So we'll be elevating this. I'll make a curve for this antenna. We'll make a curve for that. I'll make a curve, and then we got a plumbing boot for this. We'll put a curve over there, and I'll put a couple of boots here for the ladder. I'll have another boot for that. So that's about where we're at. So we're getting ready to tear her apart. Let's see what we got going on. More to come. So we got the roof off, as you can see. All corroded. I'm gonna put a new piece of steel in there. Fabricated some channel. Gonna fit in just like that. Help hold the curb down. Got nothing there. This deck is really good. You really don't need to redeck this thing. It's there's nothing wrong with it at all, except for this little bit here, which won't matter because we'll have that in there. We got our curb going on it. So that little bit, it's not worth trying to tear something apart for that. So we're just moving ahead. We'll get these all fabricated in for all of them. And got that other one over there. And the fabrication pieces up for the shoulder. We're good to go. All right, well, I know I said the roof deck was great and we didn't have to redeck it, but you know, that's the reason why I'm redecking it. Underneath here, I've got some steel because I need something to secure the solar assembly together, all the panels. So like we've got some steel in these boxes. We run around, that's an air conditioner, that's a different type of, the plate underneath is going to squash that, so we don't need it there, but I got plate here, I got plate there, and then I've got two plates under here that run to secure the mounts that I designed up for the solar. And then we've got the plates in there. I showed you that all the other day, I think, or whenever it was, can't remember what's going on here. But so that's us right here, and this will give us something to secure down for the turn bar on here, and we've got one on the back end as well. So we're just soaking her down. All right, now that we got the roof all glued, we got both sides done. Now we're just rolling it out with this big, heavy roller. We're gonna roll it down and get her packed in there. Just back and forward, back and forth. We are done with our jamboree. We're just starting to clean the roof. Just got a couple of booger spots here that we're going to get off. But see, we've got some boots around the ladder. We got all our vents. We don't have those lids. Those take a different type of lid. You can see that they hook in there, so we'll let the customer deal with that. We've got our logo on here. That shows when we did the roof, March of 21. So now when it comes in for inspection, or if you want to sell it or whatever, at least we know what the roof's doing. But we don't want anybody to come up here and say, hey, if he goes to sell it, hey, I got to talk you down because these things are just terrible. No, we just put this on because we do transferable warranties. So you see all the solar we put on here? That is awesome. We get that on some heavy rails and heavy mounts. And then early in the video, I wasn't able to show you, but there is some steel up underneath here. There's steel. That's why we had redecked it. So we put the steel down on top of the original roof, and then we redecked over the steel and everything. That'll hold all that down. Now you have something to screw to. So, but those come out pretty well. And then the other thing we did, he had the wire coming out from underneath here on this other side. This wire was coming up underneath here to serve that. So put a boot there. We trough through there, it goes back through the vent, and then the wires are down there when you take that cover off for the refrigerator. So then we zip tied them all together. So we don't do any hookups, but we did get it all mounted for them. And again, I mean, those are 3/8 bolts in there, so they're not going anywhere. Those are not going anywhere. Got our mounts on our AC in the back, just gives it some balance. And we've also got a piece of counter flash on the front. We put that on there. Now we do have counter flash on all of our curbs, but there's a foam gasket up underneath there above the counter flash, and I don't want any rainwater to come around and trickle back this way, so we put that counter flash to force the rain down, and it'll push it back, and especially as you're traveling. But even if it was sitting, it would still trickle down. Now on the other sides here, the bottom pan of the AC, it's kind of corrugated, so the water adhesion principle will come into play where it will actually feed it back and it won't get up in there. So you see we get the same over here on this vent's all done, and then we get this line guard over here, and that's the same idea that we got on there. We get the bolts all around, so if that line guard did fail, or if a tree branch clips it or whatever, then all you have to do is undo those bolts, undo that coax, pull it off. You may have to just take a drill and possibly open those up because, again, we use 3/8 on there. So you may have to just multi-bit or something. But then you just remount it. It's pretty straightforward. And you don't have to dig out any caulking. You don't have to do any of that. You just undo the coax cable, you see. So we went around. Everything's got 2 layers of caulking all the way around. Look how nice and clean that caulk line looks. That's the way it should look. That's the way it should look. All nice and clean. We've got a protector strip on here as well, and I like cutting them in when I do the roof. I take a roller. I just think it looks clean. We got these one. You can see this one here and that one there. I just think it looks sharp. And the other thing we did is we went around the window. Well, these are generally leak, so we went around all that, and then and that's about it. So just keep in mind, these are not DIY videos, and also we do not quote on social media. A lot of people watch a video and then they'll type on the comments, how much did this cost? We don't quote on social media. We don't know what we're all into when we start doing some stuff. But like I said, these are not DIY videos. I've had some people call me up. There's too much to know and too much to be compatible with, this and that. I don't want to steer anybody wrong, and I don't want anybody getting upset that, hey, this doesn't work, you didn't tell me right, so on and so forth. So I shy away from all of that too. But if you get a tip out of this while you're watching it, cool. But otherwise, that's about all we can probably help you out with. Hey, we appreciate you watching just the same. But this one is ready to go. Back to, actually this coach came from California. This guy drove all the way from California for us to put the roof on it. We've got another one sitting out there from Michigan. I mean, everybody comes everywhere for us to do it because we do custom work. I want to make sure it's done right. I want to make sure it's done right the first time. And we don't push these coaches out for the sake of getting another one in. And, you know, to try to make our numbers look good. We're not a corporate America shop. So, anyhow, thanks.